Okay, so with the previous example, we basically had a partly taxable supply to wholly non-taxable supply, where we basically had to process two legs. So basically the main difference is captured by the fact that it's not an asset that moves around partly, it's being adjusted partly in terms of the percentage used, but it's been changed in its entirety, in basically in its former use. It's been changed from what it used to do totally to being doing something else totally. So be it from taxable supplies to non-taxable supplies. That was applicable to our former example that had two legs, output VAT and input VAT, also having to give us some sort of relief. In this instance, we are now dealing with a situation where the actual asset was basically 100% non-taxable, 100% non-taxable, and now suddenly becoming 100% taxable, which is also another form of an asset moving around from being a non-taxable supply to being a taxable supply. So there's a criteria that SARS gives us for us to be actually levying input VAT, because we never used to recognize VAT because of the fact that it was 100% exempt, but now it's been changed in its form. It's now suddenly 100% taxable supply. So we can kind of like get a relief for actually having to recognize us from having moved that asset from being a non-taxable supply to now being a fully taxable supply asset. So we can now have a way of working out the actual input VAT that we can actually claim. That input VAT would be based on the actual comparison between making the value of comparison between your open market value, the lower of your open market value, again inclusive of the VAT and adjusted cost as well, and we'd apply that by the proposed taxable percentage. That would obviously be the 100% percentage, because it's coming from 0% to 100%. So the proposed percentage would likely be 100%, and we basically make use of the tax fraction. So let's make use of the example that we had in our former example. We just tweaked it a bit just for ease of understanding. So Wiki Ltd bought a recording camera for $600,000 to use in their educational department, which would have made this a fully exempt supply at that point. So therefore it was a non-taxable supply at that point. In the current year, they decide to transfer the camera equipment to be used in its entirety in their media offices. So media offices, that's more like marketing, advertising. It's a taxable supply, 100%. So now we can start getting into that conversation of, okay, so we can actually be in a position of recognizing input VAT. So input VAT to recognize would be based on the lower of open market value again, which in this instance is 900,000 as the actual example has just told us, and the adjusted cost, including the VAT portion, would be 600,000 that we basically bought the asset for.